Hey you guys, it's the Authentic Empress. So, y'all. So a channel song I was hearing is that I've been traveling on this road too long, trying to find my way back home. The old me is dead and gone, dead and gone. So the old you was dead and gone. Okay, whoever you were, okay, that made these people feel like they were at an advantage to you. You're no longer that person, okay? You're fully in your north node. You are fully in your north node. And what's crazy is that you have do not worry about, have faith in, and now is the time too. So when I pulled this card, what I was thinking about was damn, so they put in all this energy to push you out, get you to run away, force you out of something, whether that be through lies, okay, whether that be through manipulating people who have certain positions of authority or power. So influencing people to weaponize their power, even if this is just demons themselves, okay, influencing um, a vessel to abuse their power, abuse their authority, right? Um, there's this energy about them thinking that if you're no longer around or if you're no longer a part of something, if you close yourself off, if you cut people off, or if you stop coming around, or stop being connected to certain people, places, and things, there was this hope for some karmic individuals here that you would eventually become forgotten, right? You would become forgotten, and they will be able to steal that role of the spotlight if you're no longer around. But what's actually happening is that even when you're not around, or the duration of you not being around, it only makes people remember you even more, or even reconsider like things that were said to them about you, okay, things that they were made to believe about you as to why you're no longer around, why you're no longer dealing with them or in association with whatever. It only drives them to reconsider whatever connections involving you. This is what happens when you're no longer around, when you're no longer connected, opposed to what your enemies or what your haters wanted, which was they wanted you to be forgotten. They thought that they would be able to shine brighter, okay, if your light is not interfering. Okay, these are people who perceive you as an interference to their glow, to their glout. I said glout, their glow to their clout. What the fuck? Their that shit funny. Their glow or their clout, okay, or this standout energy, right? This is that energy that if you're around, if y'all are in the same room or something like that, even if somebody is like flashier than you, there's something about your energy, y'all, that they feel threatened. They feel like, and here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you how else it showed up. If some of these people have never shared spaces with you, but they shared a person, or there's a mutual connection, like both of you know somebody, even if you guys came up in like conversation or something like that, even you being mentioned in the conversation, somebody felt like overshadowed by your energy, like just in the essence of your name, or like a story about you, an association, a connection about you, a memory about you. Like these are people who felt like, you know, they wanted to they wanted to do something like with their energy, with their life, that will eventually be the topic of discussion over you being the topic of discussion, because there's something significant about the topic of you not being around, or the topic of you no longer coming around dealing with somebody, and it's like there's somebody that's listening or nearby, could have even just been quietly in the conversation, or just there while the conversation was going on, who felt triggered by that, who felt intimidated by the memory of you. It's like, damn, like I did all this to get this bitch out of here, or to get this person to stop dealing with this person, and this person is still coming up. They're still thinking about this person. They're still talking about this person. They're still talking about how they miss this person, or even memories. They can even be like memories about funny moments and stuff like that that people are bringing up about you, and there's some hater around that's listening to this, and it just pisses them off. So y'all know how a lot of times, in tarot, we talk to you guys, we know, we experience it, right? We know that there are these efforts and these attempts and investments to bind our energy, to do this work to make us like stay inside and not come out, or not go around, or they want us to be in fear, to make new connections with others and put ourselves out there. But here's the reality of that too. There's an illusion of these people thinking that their spells were working when it comes to that energy, because you guys could just naturally be introverted. They just don't know you well enough, okay? They don't know you well enough. But the imprint that you leave on people who are mentioning you, talking about you, or they know that there's some type of like tie or connection, or past energy with you and whoever that person is mentioning you, right? It's the fact that this this remembrance of you, it comes off like you have a strong hold on people. It comes off like you have a strong hold on whoever this is. So it's very intimidating. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you something about you guys, okay? Chosen ones. The thing about those of us who enjoy, just our personal space, and like we enjoy our own company, when we do put ourselves out there, okay, when we do put ourselves out there, this isn't even get mad. If you're not somebody that really like goes out for real, or hang out, or like party and shit like that, it doesn't mean you don't do it at all, right? But when you do, it's giving showstopper. It's like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? You feel me? Like, this is the reality of who you are. So again, all these illusions, okay, all this bullying, all this harassment, all the gang stalking and stuff, they don't realize that the reason why they're even gang stalking is the same reason why people feel so pulled, like magnetically pulled to your energy, or drawn to you, or attracted to you, like when you do put yourself out there. You know how sometimes people would talk about how you can have a demeanor that comes off as like unapproachable. You guys know how to switch that on and off. Like, you know how to literally make yourself unapproachable if you're just in this energy where you don't want to be bothered. But you also know how to be approachable when you're open to that, right? Why? Because we still got shit we gotta do. You feel me? There are still times like work and shit like that, or just your day to day, like whatever. There's still times where you still have to go out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, go out amongst the others. So with that being said, you guys have mastered like knowing how to switch on and switch off that approachable, unapproachable energy. So yeah, listen, I'm telling you, like, you could have had people in fear about coming around or being brought around when you already made up in your mind that you're not going to participate in something because you just simply don't want to, or however the person is showing up, whatever the dominant energy is in the community or the collective, it's just not your cup of tea. It's like, damn, you ain't gotta, be worried. You ain't gotta be anxious. You don't have to fear my coming or my becoming. It's like, bitch, I don't want to go. You get what I'm saying now? Here's the thing. When it comes to things that are divinely orchestrated, divinely ordained for you to be there, because there are things that are coming up in your life or just throughout your life, yeah, it's divinely orchestrated. It's divinely ordained for you to be there at that very moment. It's almost giving that phrase that says, grow where you're planted. That's the type of effect, a ripple effect, that you have wherever God plants you. So yes, there will be times where you are led to go places or you're guided to accept certain invitations, okay? This is why it's best to be selective. This is why it's key to attune and master your discernment so you can know which invitations that you can accept, okay? Because no, the divine don't want y'all just connecting with just anybody. The divine don't want y'all just being in just any type of environment. The divine don't want y'all, just being associated with just any old thing, right? That's why typically, a lot of us, you're not going to find us in group organizations, such as sororities and fraternities. And if we get into it, it's kind of inevitable for us to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because our eyes are open to what we're dealing with, right? Especially if you are a seer, okay, you're a dreamer, you're a prophetic dreamer, you have prophetic gifts. It's inevitable for these mysteries to be revealed to you because that's not something you turn off. Like when you think about those of us who have natural inclinations to mystery solving and like being investigative and analytical and very observant and stuff like that, that's not something we turn off. And a lot of that stems from the fact that we are seers, the fact that we are prophetic. This is why, some of us will go into fields that are connected to that, like problem solving, conflict resolution, type of careers or things like that, games, okay, like being into like escape rooms, just shit like that. It's a natural inclination we have because we're naturally inclined to be discerning, right? So what's so crazy about these two cards? So the North Node came out first, right? And then the South Node. So with the North Node, it's like this planet literally, it's like this being has become this planet, like just have completely integrated this energy, whereas there's a separation here, okay? So now is not the time to be worrying about what people are projecting. um I feel like you guys are just like in like right now. You know that book? There's this book that's called The Power of Now. I feel like this is a lot of our energy. Like we're more focused on the now. Not saying that we don't consider the past and we don't consider the future, but right now there's something about us just being present, like just mastering, just being present in the present moment, okay? But not being in these old versions or like even like these old timelines that people are still like tugging for us to come back into, or they want to spark a desire for us to crave that again, or like crave to be there again or be where they are. But where are they? Is the question. Where are they? Especially if these are people who felt like it was too difficult or too much of a challenge to be mature, handle a situation maturely, okay, being honest, apologize, mend something. These are things that are North Node energies. This is North Node frequency. You know what I'm saying? So if they're not doing any of that and they've wronged you somehow, or you guys, the reason why you're not connected is because of some type of like boundaries that were crossed or whatever, imagine where they are. With the South Node, where are they? And if we talk about the spiral, right? We talk about the spiral because that's literally what it looks like. Meaning you can spiral upward or you can spiral downward. This is why, is you have to master self and really treat life as a teacher, and not even just our lives, but the examples that we have around us. Understanding that just because you may experience like tumultuous cycles on your way upward and forward and beyond, that doesn't mean that, oh, you're cursed or there's something wrong with you. But there's people who want to try and shape that narrative that's why you're experiencing people coming up against you, you experiencing losses and things having to fall away, you having to turn the page and stuff like that. That's a part of it. That happens whether you're ascending or descending, but it's a difference in the characteristics of it and the intentions and the reasons for it, right? Those are the differences. Like, for example, if you're spiraling upward and you lose people, more than likely you've outgrown those people, places, and things. So you're losing them, okay? It's like your gifts are making room for you, and these people are simply in the way, or they're taking up space, whether that be mental space, emotional space, heart space, unnecessarily, especially if they have ill intent or they have some type of envy that they refuse to identify or self-identify, self-acknowledge. It's not enough for us to identify it within them. It's not enough for us to acknowledge it. And this is why oftentimes you'll find people who call themselves pretending like they can have a mature conversation about an indifference, okay, an obvious indifference or shift in the energy going on between y'all, but they keep talking around the issue opposed to directly addressing it, or they deflect, they project, okay, they gaslight, they do all these things to spiral downward. And so what's happening as they're spiraling downward while you're spiraling upward, okay, to come up with a solution or a resolution, you guys are separating. You're separating. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, patience, right? Because time will tell. In both of these cards it says, one says now is the time to, with the North Node energy, and the South Node energy, it says now is not the time to. Now is not the time to. So time will tell when they look around and evaluate what's around them. The nature and the quality of the conversations that they're now finding themselves in or surrounded by again. This could even be this energy of like, you know, how in the physical realm, let's say one person has a vehicle or one person has access or has property somewhere and they want to bring somebody along. You know, let's say this person ain't never been to Alaska. I've never been to Alaska, but this person has access or an opportunity to go to Alaska. So they want to bring a friend or bring somebody along to experience something new that would be new for them. Right? So that's kind of the energy when you're somebody who's consciously growing, right, in your North Node. Like, we typically, if there seems to be an established connection that we like them, we like their personality, like we seem to have chemistry or whatever, yes, there's this energy of people being able to experience fortune or abundance or prosperity or luck by being connected to you. This is why also what can happen on the opposite end. If they're refusing to meet you where you are, right? They can cause you to stumble. They can cause you to fall, or even like fall back into old habits and shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay. Going back to the example of a friend taking another friend to Alaska, because the friend taking a friend to Alaska has access and opportunity to go. The other friend has never been to Alaska. Oh, damn, I heard it's cold as a bitch over there. Damn, I don't know. That fear, right? Fear of the unknown, right? You're somebody who's already broke through that type of energy because once upon a time, you've never been to Alaska. You get what I'm saying? So you're telling the person, hey, I've been there a few times. You have nothing to worry about. I know this is what they say. I'm just using this as an example. I know this is what they say. This is typically what they show. It's kind of like Africa. How they always show us the worst parts of Africa, but not like the beautiful parts about Africa, right? It's the same shit. Hey, I've been to Africa. I'm telling you, look, I got pictures. Look. Yo, look at this fine linen. You don't find no shit like this over here in America. I got this shit from Africa, and this is where I got it from. Look how beautiful this place is. But the person is still fixated. Well, I don't know, them videos of them children shriveled up and crying and shit. I don't know if I can fathom that. How dare you go to a place like that and then you come back here all excited and shit? How can you be excited to go to Africa and you see those poor children? We got poor children in America. We got poor people in America. We got people suffering. What are we talking about? But think about all the energy that's exhausted in trying to reason and ration with that person to get them to consider a different outlook from what they are accustomed to. That's literally how it is. And so if we're not careful, if we don't catch ourselves soon enough, right? If they remain stubborn in that energy of staying stagnant, we have to be wise, strong enough, and understanding enough to understand, okay, and it's the thing, there's not even a whole lot of energy that really has to go into cutting off people, places, and things that are, no longer good for you or that you're outgrowing, because it naturally falls away. There's already a natural pull, there's already a natural resistance. But that's the thing, don't resist the resistance. If there's a resistance that's happening, we understand that, okay, I'm not doing anything to you, okay, I'm not doing anything to contribute to the resistance. You are. You know what I'm saying? I'm experiencing, different ventures and an expansion and awareness and stuff like that by discovering what the unknown is. You know what I'm saying? So it's no longer scary to me. So I can't resonate with that fearful shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, stay where you are. It's like, damn. We have all these different places around us. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the energy of somebody staying in a city that they were born for their entire life. Okay? And then making all kinds of excuses of why they shouldn't travel or explore other areas. And it's like, damn, you gonna stay there with them, collective? Even if, the city that you grew up, it ain't really shit going on, nothing but killing, fucking, disease. Ain't nothing going on, no growth for real. You gonna stay there too, even though you have a growth mindset, even though in your mind you're growing all these plants and you're growing a whole garden, accumulating a whole garden of ideas and projects and dreams and aspirations from within. Right? It's like the environment is no longer matching your internal environment. So what are you gonna do? Right? Your soul has this natural desire to go and explore elsewhere, right? And you get rewarded for doing that. And this is not just a whole spiel talking about travel. This is just an example when it comes to ascending to your north node, okay? Pursuing your north node and integrating your south node, right? Because it's not that your south node doesn't have, it's not like your south node doesn't have like any positives that you should retain, right? Because your past certainly don't you get on my yoga mat. Your past naturally contributes, its portion to your present and your future, right? If you experience if you experimented with something and it didn't necessarily give you the type of feelings or a feeling of satisfaction, or you didn't necessarily have this drive and this passion grow and this ambition to continue doing that thing, it's like you're just going to keep doing that thing, right? Because at least it's some money, but there's a lot of things out there where you can generate income. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. You don't have to settle with people who are abusive and they make excuses for it. You don't have to settle with, okay, like, how oftentimes when you're a pure-hearted soul, you're a chosen being, and you've separated from handlers and people being able to control you, right? Generally, when we go into connections, especially like romantic or any connections, we go in, with full love. You get what I'm saying? Right? If we can show up with the people and be trustworthy and be reliable and be consistent, then you better know that there's others that you will align with who do the same thing, who match that energy, right? Who don't send you through the ringer, okay, just because they're fearful of the unknown, because they never experienced this type of love. They never experienced genuine friendship. They never experienced real loyalty, or somebody who mean what the fuck they say and they don't have ulterior motives. Well, guess what? Just like I can be that way, I understand there are others who also are this way. So no, I don't have to remain in a place that I've outgrown. Even if once before you lacked awareness and maybe you could have shown up better in your connections or whatever. But if however that fell apart, because it's it's natural for it to fall apart, okay? Because the foundation is not, it's not completely solid, right? You got some faulty wiring, something is going to pop off, right? So when the pop off happens, what do you do after the tower, right? And that's what it's about. What do you do after the tower falls? What do you do once there is a death, right? All these energies in the tarot deck that typically have like a negative connotation to it, like the devil card, the tower card, the six of swords, or the eight of swords, the 10 of swords. What do you do if you find yourself in a situation where it's the 10 of swords, okay? And it seems like so much has been done to put you down and keep you down. If you still got breath in your body, if you still can move your feet, your legs, your arms, everything, if you still can manage to get up and fight for your life and fight for yourself, what is the decision you're going to make in that scenario? I hope is to get the fuck up and fight for yourself. Okay, find your way to some means of recovery. I hope that's what it is. If you find yourself in a 10 of swords, if you find yourself this close to death, what decision are you going to make? And symbolically, you have people who just choose to stay there with the swords in their back. Okay? And you're sitting there trying to pull them out, patch them up and shit, and they fighting you. Nah, that shit hurt. Well, either way, it's going to hurt. So which one you want to do? It's going to hurt to just leave the swords there. It's going to hurt to get the swords out and stitch it up, clean it up as well. Which one do you want to do? Okay? You either going to grit your teeth and get through that shit so you can recover, okay, and put yourself in a better environment, a better situation, okay? Let's get away from these people that contributed to the 10 of swords and putting the swords in your back. The 3 of swords, the 8 of swords. Let's get away from that. Let's get away from the place that contributed to that. Let's get away from the thing. Let's get away from the habit that contributed to the swords being put in your heart, in your back, in your mind. Let's get away from it, right? And what happens if they choose to stay there because that's what's familiar? And just because you care about them and you love them and shit and you stay there, what ends up happening to you? Because here's the thing about the swords in tarot. So the 3 of swords, boom, heartbreak, betrayal. Okay. 4 of swords, you got to recover. You lay down, you lay it out, you got to recover, you got to get rest, right? You got to replenish. Okay. 5 of swords, motherfuckers still coming at you with some shit. Damn. 6 of swords, they still coming at you. They trying to push you away, run you away. Okay, so you managed to get away and try and recover. 7 of swords, now they trying to look you up, search you up, stalk you, fish for your information, hack your accounts, find out where you at, send somebody where you at, so they can entrap you, imprison you, try do it again. 8 of swords, damn. What happens after the 8 of swords? Because even with those swords standing around you and the mental conflict and stuff like that, you can still escape from that by a decision, right? So it's supposed to be a reading, like what the hell? So boom, 8 of swords. You don't do shit. You just stay there, okay? You allow other people's projections and insults and their lies or whatever to control your movements, to control your life. Now you find yourself in the 9 of swords. Then ultimately you find yourself in the 10 of swords. But even after the 10 of swords, you have the Ace of swords, the truth. Are you going to acknowledge the truth or are you going to deny it? Ace of swords in the reverse, right? Are you going to acknowledge the truth and use that sword to cut yourself free out of that situation, or swing back and defend yourself to these motherfuckers who trying to kill you? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Is it going to be your ending? And I don't know why I just thought about the sword that's in the rock, that all these different people, they try to pull the sword out of the rock, but a lot of people are not strong enough to pull the sword out of the rock. But divine beings, okay, once you truly acknowledge what you've always been awakened to, instead of overlooking it, making it because you care about them, because you love them, because you understand that they're that way because of their trauma, you understand what pain can do, and you've been there before, okay, but you got yourself out of it. You chose to acknowledge it. They're not choosing to do that. They want to stay stuck in the past. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Allow yourself to be weakened by people who have the withal to move themselves, to walk themselves, free themselves from some shit, but they're choosing not to. So they want you to exhaust your energy into doing it for them, when you need your energy to do that for your fucking self. But when you find yourself exhausting your energy in somebody who's just choosing not to do shit, okay, not to fight for themselves, not to believe in themselves, not to have faith in themselves, because North Node says have faith in yourself. The South Node talks about remembering, reconsidering. This is giving lost wife energy. Like they conflicted about if they should stay or if they should go, and it's like, damn, but look what that person is doing to you. Look how many times they did it. Look at how many of them are doing it. And they're protecting each other while they're doing it. They're covering it up, they're hiding it, they're trying to make it seem, they're trying to get people not to believe you or listen to you. They're trying to imprison you. Okay? In a prison that they created, and then they want you to create your own prison internally by their external projections and orchestrations. So again, you're going to find yourself picking up on memories that people are finding themselves reflecting on about you, reminiscing about you, and then also projecting that. Or even if the projection is not all intentional, some of these projections are not intentional. It's for the simple fact that yes, they are reflecting about you. They're reflecting about who you were to them. They're reflecting about how things were when you were around. They're reflecting about how they showed up. They're reflecting about how they denied themselves. They're reflecting about how they chose to be something that they were not, just to seem cool, or just to not face accountability, not grow. So yeah, you'll be reflecting on certain memories and stuff like that. But the thing about when you pick up on these memories, it's not strong enough to make you turn around and go backwards. It's like you're so fixated on what's ahead of you, right? You're so excited about, damn, like who you are and the seeds that you planted throughout your entire life. You're more fixated on that and what's to come. You get what I'm saying? And that's not something that can be broken. Like, you're set in stone in this energy. This is why you have the North Node, the first card to come out. What's the sixth house, y'all? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Health. Yeah, you are fixed in your North Node as a full-time job. That's what it says on that card. As a full-time job. And then what's right behind the fucking Virgo? Yo, it's Jupiter. And then you have Mars, energize, confront, force yourself to. Force yourself to not worry about some type of trouble or something that causes you anxiety, like something about the past that causes you anxiety, or it's anxiety forming. Because in the South Node card, the reverse energy is trouble. So troubles are not ahead. Troubles are not something that you have to look forward to, okay? You're moving away from the troublesome energy, not moving toward it, okay? You're not engaging in behaviors that's going to land you in that, okay? And it's not even saying that you were necessarily doing this before, but there's just something about, even when people try to create trouble for you, like if they're in proximity to you, you don't fixate on that. You have this type of mindset, like this Mars energy, this Aries energy. You have this Emperor energy. You have this Fool energy. That's Aries energy. Like, what's next in this motherfucker? Like, you're still excited about your future because you love yourself, because you love you and you love God. Like, why? How can you not be excited about your present and your future? How can you not be excited about the new? Well, you know God has everything to do with it. You know that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard all the things that God has planned for you. So it's like, why the fuck would you allow people who chose to be in some type of outdated energy to cause you to take yourself out, to cancel yourself, disable yourself, kill yourself? I know it's kind of trigger warning, but there were people who thought that their actions were going to lead you to offing yourself. And this is not taking your physical life. This is like you giving up on your dreams. This is giving up on your hustle, like giving up on fighting for yourself, standing your ground, giving up on Asserting that, no, this is what I desire for myself. I want my Jupiter. I want my Jupiter. I'm not going to settle for this other shit. I want my Jupiter. You get what I'm saying? Yep. It says learn or teach, be positive about, grow and expand. Yo. Be positive about the time you served. This is even, yo, what the fuck? What the hell? Because you confronted something with courage. So you can be positive about the time that you served with these people that you had to walk away from, or things that you outgrown, because when you were a part of it, you put your best foot forward. And that's the beautiful thing about being genuine, being sincere. When things fall apart, you're not going to find yourself in some type of internal conflict or eight of swords like these people who wronged you, because you didn't wrong them. They went out of their way to wrong you, or they betrayed you. They fell short with you. They let you down. But you were consistent. And that's the thing. That's why, bro, don't ever worry about somebody trying to make you feel some type of way because you was loyal. And they trying to weaponize that against you, or laugh with some corny ass friends or corny ass people who are haters. Okay? Don't ever worry about what the fuck they lying about, what they talking about, what they plotting, what they scheming. You don't ever have to worry about that, because of the seeds that you planted, you're protected. They've voided the protection of the spirit realm. They've canceled their subscription of being protected by the spirit realm by choosing to lie, by choosing to even be on the side of an enemy, or to be an enemy to somebody who's a friend of God. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing. What always makes you weak enough for something evil to be successful in your life is for you to succumb to fear. Yes. You have to succumb to the fears, the illusions of fears that they're casting over you or trying to project into your mind. Okay? With this trouble in the reverse, that's an illusion. What trouble? Right? I don't put myself in situations for that shit to happen. I'm not attached to anybody, or I'm not allowing my emotions and traditions and stuff to keep me tied to people who are obviously abusive by choice. Yeah, no. No. There will not be. Yeah. There will not be trouble. There will not be anxiety about some type of memories. So you're at a place now, you're at this healed place where you can reflect on memories, but even if some of these things are painful, even if, it may still be kind of triggering, it's not triggering to the extent of triggering positive things about you that these people once had access to, that they could have access to if they were still in good standing with you. This is like people wanting you to be triggered by the sadness associated with memories that will trigger that mediator energy in you. Like, you know what? Damn, this person, I would have appreciated this person apologized. I would have appreciated if I got closure, But if you weren't the one to create the chaos, if you didn't create the trouble, the fuck you need to go seek closure for from that person. If they create the trouble, if they create the chaos, if they burn the house down, why the fuck are you looking for an arsonist? Why the fuck would you invite the arsonist into your new castle? Like, what? Huh? So that's what I'm getting, y'all. Like, that's what I'm picking up on. And then we got this portal. Yo, like, I don't know if anybody doubted this portal energy, this AA energy, but it is not a motherfucking joke. Okay? Because at the back of the fucking line is the South Node. You got Jupiter, the 6th house, and North Node all here together. My guy, my girl. Do you see this? Do you see this? And even with this energy here, it's two faces. But the fact that this one is in the upright, it's giving this energy of contentment. You being content. You've lived your life as such where you can be content right now. While other people, or these people who have betrayed you, are wrestling with themselves. behind the scenes or internally. They're wrestling with themselves. They have no peace. There is no peace for the wicked. Confirmation about this AA portal. Last week, there's a passage in the Bible that talks about the virgins who all had these oil lamps, right? And there's something about some of them running out of oil or something like that, and something about them falling asleep. I can't fully recall, so I'm paraphrasing to the best of my ability. I can't fully recall it, but there's something about when God came back, or when the Lord came back, right? There was some who went out to go get more oil, but they were supposed to stay. They were supposed to stay and wait. Okay. There was some who went out thinking that they could make it back in time, but by the time they got back, those doors were shut. They didn't make it back in time. I'm telling y'all, that's this energy right now with this portal. With this Jupiter portal, the 6th house. And again, Virgo energy to me has a lot to do with healing, has a lot to do with health. And it just made me, there's this guy, I can't remember his name. Y'all know that Jamaican dude. He's like a food critic, and he travels all over, and he's very wealthy, and like he pays for he spends so much money at these restaurants, and at the end he be like, well, this is about to be y'all's vibes, bro. Like, well, like it'd be so funny because sometimes he'll be like, what, like if he spent, there was one video, his food was like $350, and he was like, yo, retro Jordans. And that's what I'm getting to. Like, you guys, there's something about you spending your wealth in a healthy manner. You spending your wealth with purpose. You spending your wealth with responsibility. You using your wealth to help others, like to help or even create your own charities. Some of you guys want to create your own charities, but y'all know the work. It's giving that energy of how people will have conversations and like in interviews with certain celebrities, they'll ask them like, why won't you donate, to da da da, like to this community or to your hood? You know how some celebrities or some people who are well off, they may like buy the apartment complex that they grew up in, and then they refurbish the land or like renovate the land, basically transmute it into something better. This is this energy, like y'all are these type of beings. You get what I'm saying? This is why you have Jupiter, the 6th house, in the North Node, right? This is why I've been picking up on the scripture of the last shall be first and the first shall be last. So we've sat back and we observed, right? We've observed what people have chosen to do with their wealth, with their finances, with their money, with these huge amounts of money and opportunity and status and influence. We've sat back, we observed, we've critiqued. You get what I'm saying? We've done our commentary, yada, yada, yada. Okay? And it's even that energy of, there is this clear depiction that there's a lot of the wrong people who have way too much money. There's so much order we could be contributing to in our world, in our environment, if those funds were in proper hands. This is what's happening with y'all. This is what you guys are manifesting. Y'all are those proper hands. Y'all are the hands that God can trust with these huge amounts of funds, because you guys are going to use those funds to do the work that you've already been doing. And that's what it's about too. Because that thing, you don't have to have a lot to do what God requires of you. You don't have to have anything to do what God requires of you. So there's something about people coming against you who even at times could have had more access or more opportunity or more leverage, but they chose to use that to try to outdo you, compete with you, look better than you, impress others or whatever. Okay? Serving looks, but that's it, not to inspire, not to motivate, but simply because they want to be worshipped, because they want to be envied, because they want people to be jealous of them, this, that, and the third, right? 444 4444. So this is the energy, y'all. Like, so I'm gonna pull some more cards. I feel like I need a scribe. with these cards a little bit more though. Some of you guys could be teaching as a full-time job, or just learning and teaching as a full-time job. That's a full-time job for you. Learning and teaching. Okay? This is even like that energy of people who are so arrogant, who want to be in a teacher position, or they want to feel like they can control others or tell people what to do and this, that, and the third. But they feel like that they're not supposed to be open to learning simultaneously. Learning and teaching is something that goes hand in hand. It's something that's interchangeable. It's something that they both should be coexisting. Okay? So it says, be positive about not worrying about things that people from your past want you to reconsider. Okay? Because there can even be this projection, or people projecting onto you to make it seem like you're being cold-hearted, you're being heartless, you're being cruel, or whatever. But how long were you imprisoned by you caring about somebody, or caring for something to improve, caring for something to get better? How long were you imprisoned by that type of energy? So who gives a fuck what they talking about? Like, let's just call it being a being. They didn't give a fuck about reconsidering how they were treating you. They didn't give a fuck. So why should you give a fuck about putting yourself in a safer situation? Why should you reconsider the things that are obviously contributing to your health? Why should you reconsider the things that are obviously contributing to your financial health that you're now doing, or that you've now implemented, things that's contributing to your physical health, your emotional health, your psychological health that you are now implementing? Okay, it's giving the scales, it's giving Libra energy, it's giving you know how it's almost like people adding things to one side of the scale to cause your scales to tilt. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, this is obvious imbalance here. I don't think this is something I should keep up. Let me remove some things to recreate that balance. Whether those things be shit that belongs to other people, shit that's associated with other people in their mess, okay? And their lack of growth, their lack of responsibility or accountability, or whether these are just old aspects of you, or like old ways of doing things that didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Old ways of doing things that didn't necessarily serve your highest good, or keeping you in a balanced state, or in a state of harmony, in a state of attunement, okay, in a state of health, or things that contributed to a lack of health, right? No, you don't need to reconsider anything. You may reflect on it from time to time, reflect on the good times that were intertwined, but no, it's not enough to get you to turn away from something that's much better for you, is more fitting for you and who you are on a soul level. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna pull some cards in regards to this South Pole energy. Because you definitely had energies that wanted to, it wanted you to force yourself to be what they wanted you to be. Okay. But you're doing the complete opposite. You're forcing yourself to just embrace your most sincere identity. That's what you're forcing yourself to do. Okay, and the reason why I'm even picking up on this force energy is because, yeah, like there could be some friction, or like yeah, because of your compassion, because of how compassionate you are. You get what I'm saying? So yes, there could be like some resistance there, because you love these people, or some of these people, you love them. You love these people, right? Yeah. But this strength that you have is undeniable. Hey, you tapped into an undeniable strength here. Okay, so you're being encouraged to be positive about that, because you're manifesting something grand, bro. Yo. Yo. Now, if this is clarifying this South Node energy, there's people from the past, okay, trying to manifest you to reconsider something, reconsider what you're doing, how you're moving, come back, baby, come back, type shit, face ass, okay? With fertility here, this can have something to do with home, your hometown, okay? And you got well-being. So this could even be this energy of like you being a safe space, you being a safe tower, okay? I'm hearing like that energy of like this home is not a home if you're not around or if you're not there. Okay? With well-being here and fertility. But on the south note, energy says now is not the time. Okay? Now is not the time. But you definitely have energies from the past that's wanting to manifest like some type of new start with you, okay? Yeah. There could be something significant about manifesting fertility at home. Somebody could be manifesting this with you. Like, damn. Somebody's from the past is dreaming and manifesting for you to reconsider them, y'all. Rebuilding something. You got well-being, home, and fertility. So somebody could want to have a family with you, start a home life with you, okay? They want this to be well with your soul. I'm hearing that old hymn. It is well with my soul. Okay. This could just be what's coming in though. Like with this North Node, 6th house energy and Jupiter, somebody could be a Sagittarius, somebody could be a Virgo, somebody could be an Aries or a Scorpio. That's significant. Okay. Tell me more about this Jupiter energy. Tell me more about this Jupiter energy. Love? Damn. Why her music soul child teach me how to love? So there's something about you teaching someone how to love you properly, or teaching people like how to heal that love energy, how to love in a healthy way, how to identify what's considered unhealthy, like when it comes to caring about somebody, like, or this is something about you just moving accordingly to what love truly is and not this toxic shit. Okay, you moving away from toxic love. Okay, but you can be influencing others or somebody particularly to do this. Now, this is talking about being positive about love, because love is growing and expanding in your life. It's inevitable. Hold on. Being positive about love, okay? This is clarifying this Jupiter energy, or this is what's going on with this portal, okay? Yeah. And there's something about these people not being able to manifest some type of outdated energy because of you growing and expanding in your self-love. Okay? There's something about you being steadfast in this frequency and it's just growing. It's like, y'all know Jupiter. I'm picking up this energy of like a very strong like gravitational pull, magnetism that's going on here, like with this Jupiter energy, like that is crazy. I can't believe prosperity and love clarified. Look, blessings though. You got blessings and lighten your load. Oh my god. There could be something significant about a deep cleaning, okay? What did I say? Transformation. Yo. What is going on? Okay, clarify the 6th house. Okay. Good luck. So there's something about you inspiring health. Are you inspiring people to be healthy? Are you feeling inspired to like invest more in your health? Or I feel like this is already y'all's energy though. Like this could be something like You got new beginnings, yeah? New beginnings and good luck. And I feel like these new beginnings are talking about, like, I'm hearing all things new, but these new beginnings are talking about, like, you experiencing healthy love, or there's this protection over your prosperity. Like, people are not gonna be able to come in and create these interruptions and disruptions to your financial path here. Like, let's say you are already prosperous, or you're on this path of prosperity already, but there's something about inconveniences, or like people just trying to create obstructions on your path to um, leak your finances. This is not, like, whatever this energy and this North Node energy that you're in now. This is not. They're not going to be able to do this anymore. They're not going to be able to disturb or manipulate your new beginnings. Okay, there's a lot of good luck surrounding your energy here. Okay, and there's something significant about the dream state. Yep. There's something about you having closure about a situation, or you making peace with something here, making peace with several situations or dynamics here, and it's contributing to a transformation here. And this transformation is like it's leading you to some type of dreams. Like, it's this dream come true energy. Like, your dreams coming true about love, your dreams coming true about prosperity, your dreams coming true, like, about growing and expanding your inspirations. Like, something no longer just being an inspiration, but basically it becoming something tangible now. And honestly, with South Node and manifestations, there was like a lot of energy being manifested against the things that you wanted to produce or cultivate that were being birthed from your inspirations. This is not happening anymore, and it has everything to do with you cutting that energy off, being okay with that energy falling away, and not even just that, but having the understanding why it happens, why you guys drift away, why there's resistance, why there's separation, why it happens. Okay. There's something about you doing something a little at a time here, and it's serving you. Okay. This can even be like contributing towards your inspirations, or where you feel inspired, like doing something a little at a time. Okay. All this is contributing to some type of transformation here, a positive transformation. Tell me more about this North Node energy. Believe again, believe again. You got reconciliation. And I feel like this is talking about you reconciling, like, you got answers here. You reconciling with yourself. And what I'm hearing is that we had to master understanding that we literally fraction ourselves off, like, to different people, places, and things, and how in a way that's a leak to our prosperity. That's like it's contributing. It was contributing to some type of loss here. And I feel like you guys realize that. You realize the importance of what you're associated to. So that's why clarity. So I did that because the way I picked up this card, it's clarity in reverse, but it's clarifying the North Node energy that says have faith. Have faith, clarity in reverse. So this is giving how does that scripture go? Like, faith is the evidence of things not seen? Is that how it goes? It says, do not worry about. Now is the time to not worry, but to have faith. Even if you don't have full clarity, okay, about what's to come. I feel like that's the energy you guys are basking in, okay? And with this answers card, it always makes me think about getting answers directly from source or from the divine. But clarity in reverse and answers, clarifying the North Node. Ain't that something? But having faith anyway. You could have some answers to something, but maybe you feel like you still don't have full clarity about whatever this is, but it's not stopping you like from having faith that, you know, in some type of positive new beginnings, or this can even have something to do with a reconciliation, or this could be like, damn, who is this? What the hell? And you know what I heard? Like, you know how as human beings, this whole thing where we like to surprise one another, like with gifts and celebrations and stuff like that. This is what the divine is doing for us as well. So there are going to be some surprises in store that we're not going to have full clarity about. You get what I'm saying? What does it say? It says someone who truly feels more beautiful. So there's something that you have the answers to, okay, through your intuition, through your downloads with source, but there is still a hater in the background, okay, who's competing with your appearance, or they compete by appearances, okay, or by materials. This person doesn't want you to like have clarity about something, about somebody wanting to reconcile. They don't want you to get the answers to something or get some type of information. Damn, this is like a positive read. Like, what the fuck? A person who's been physically following you around, possibly? What the fuck? Somebody who's been left. You got left by Beyonce. Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Calling me about while I'm watching the fight. Like, what? Oh my god. Somebody's name could be Kim. Okay. Little mama, little something could be significant. You got please let me in. God is blocking dangers you can't even see. So this is confirmation for somebody. To the left, to the left. Everything you want in the box to the left. If I bought it, please don't touch. Please let me in. Somebody's been being like physically followed by somebody that they left, or somebody who left someone behind or let go of somebody because they want some type of new beginning. They're trying to manifest a home, fertility, with you. Whoever they left behind could be physically following you around. You could be like getting, Lord have mercy. This is crazy, bro. What the fuck, man? I did not want to tap into this. I didn't want to tap into this. Anyway, you're not worried, okay? You got, do not worry about, now is not the time. Okay? And again, like, this could be this energy of somebody wanting you to be in a space of discomfort, fear, okay? To block, so that you block your own manifestations here. But you got North Node here. Somebody's trying to block some type of prosperity or some type of love here. Come for fucking 11:11 on the clock, bitch. I'm about to close out and do another reading. It says, let's make a baby and start a family. I realize I was wrong and I want to apologize. This is somebody who's freed themselves from fear surrounding finances, wealth, and prosperity. You're thinking of them because they're thinking of you. Yeah. So there can even be this energy of somebody trying to put somebody who wants to reconcile with you, who wants to start a family with you. They could even be trying to put this person in danger, and maybe God is like blocking dangers this person can't even see, because this person has their heart in the right place. Or this is somebody who's forcing themselves, like they're forcing themselves through some type of walls or something here. Like this is somebody who wants to be in their North Node. This is somebody who doesn't want to be left behind with this next chapter energy. A Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. God. Bruh. Somebody somewhere praying for me, just for me. Somebody somewhere is praying just for you, collective, or there's something about you praying for whoever this is. It says, falling in love with you wasn't a part of my plan, but I trust God's plan above my own. Yo, I'm about to do a separate reading. We're going to do a separate reading about this. So I'm about to put these cards over to the side. Damn. It says, even if your faith, what did I say? Even if your faith is shrunk into the size of a mustard seed, cherish your faith. It will grow. It is more than enough. North Node here, have faith. Have faith in some type of new beginnings. Have faith in a reconciliation. Have faith in love and prosperity. Listen. Have faith, okay, in God answering some type of prayers here, like about a love. Okay, or this is someone holding on to their faith, like, okay, about being able to reconcile with you. So I'm gonna do a separate reading. It looks like I might have to do a love reading, but this is cool.